One of my favorite things in all of sports is when you're not sure if a team's good or not. There's a chance there's intrigue. Alabama, Clemson, the Golden State Warriors, they're boring. There's less intrigue because we know they're really good. Now, the Redskins are a team I'm not certain of, but I think they have a chance to be a really, really good, fascinating team next year in 2019. A couple reasons. The first one is this. The Redskins traded for quarterback Case Keenum, a guy who I'm not sure about. 2 years ago, with the Vikings, he had a great offensive coach, Pat Shurmur, who's now the head coach of the Giants, and he had really good numbers, really dominated, was really, really productive, and led his team to the playoffs. Now, last year with the Broncos, Case Keenum's coaching was not as good, and his numbers were not as good. He had less than 4,000 yards passing, wasn't as productive. I think 18 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. That's off the top of my head. His year wasn't as good. But now in Washington, Case Keenum has a really good offensive mind, Jay Gruden as his head coach and offensive coordinator. You look at Jay Gruden's history, he got the most out of Kirk Cousins. When he was with the Redskins, the problem for Kirk Cousins was never coaching. It was always the fact that, and it's really, this is the whole Kirk Cousins' career summarized in one sentence, is that he's got some kind of a mental block in big moments. But again, coaching was never the issue. Jay Gruden got the best out of Kirk Cousins. And now maybe he can do that for his new quarterback, Case Keenum. I think the storylines go on and on. This is why the Redskins are so interesting. Next year, they play the Vikings. If you remember back to last offseason, the Redskins didn't want Kirk Cousins, so they let him walk away in free agency. The Redskins had Kirk Cousins. They said, we don't want you. They let him go. At the very same time, the Vikings had a quarterback, Case Keenum, that they didn't believe in. So they let him walk away too. They said, Case Keenum, we don't want you. And they gave Kirk Cousins, the former Redskins quarterback, a massive contract. What that means is next year we're going to get the ultimate grudge match. Two different teams playing each other and playing against their former quarterbacks. The Redskins playing against their former quarterback, Kirk Cousins, and the Vikings playing against their former quarterback, Case Keenum. The ultimate revenge game. It's going to be really fun, really interesting to watch. And look, if you look at the Redskins roster, they have talent all over the place. Before their quarterback, Alex Smith, broke his leg, the Redskins led their division, and by a lot. I mean, they were really, really on track. To make things even more interesting for the Redskins, they just signed free agent Landon Collins to a massive contract, $84 million. He's maybe arguably the best safety in football. He's going to play his old team, the Giants, twice a year. And I just look at the Redskins and say they're really interesting. They got a good roster. They have an interesting quarterback. They have a good offensive-minded head coach. Got one of the best safeties in the NFL. I think the Redskins are a team to watch. Their division, the NFC East, is not that talented. The Cowboys are pretty good. The Eagles are all right. And the Giants are a mess. I think there's still a chance, even with Case Keenum, not Alex Smith, that the Redskins still could win their division next year. And I just am fascinated and curious to watch what happens with the Redskins next year in 2019. I don't know if they're good, but that's why. That's why it's interesting, because we don't know what to expect, and we have no idea how they're going to play next year in 2019. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to ask for your help. I want this show to grow. I want more people to watch and more people to listen to this podcast. My dream is to do this show as my full-time job. I want to own it myself. I want to do it on the internet and have complete control. I don't want to do it for CBS or ESPN. I don't want to work for a big network. I want to own it myself. And if you believe in that dream, please do me a huge favor. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. Share it on Facebook, share a link on Twitter, maybe you screenshot it, put it on Instagram. I don't have a marketing strategy beyond this. This is all I have. A lot of people, one of the most common comments I get on YouTube is, you have great content. We love your stuff. You deserve more viewers. What you should do is you should buy ad spaces on Facebook or Twitter or promote yourself and buy ads. I have no money. I am a broke college kid. I can't buy ad spaces. I don't have money to pay for books. And so my plan, this is my marketing plan. This is my strategy. All I plan to do is put every ounce of effort I have into making the very best podcast I can. I believe if I make a great product that people believe in, that people like, then they will share it with their friends. And so if you agree with that, if you believe in the show, if you like what I do, please do me a huge favor. Tell your friends about it. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast.